602. Roll call. Present.
Vice Chair Joanna Israel.
Present.
Commission Member Jesus Cervantes.
Present.
Commission Member Juan Lopez.
Present.
Commission Member Sonia
Urquiza.
Sorry.
Present.
Thank you very much. Please join me on the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Call to the public. The microphone should be on.
It should be on.
Can you get closer to the microphone, please? Thank you.
There. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Jose Felix, and I live in West County, 3580 West County, 17 3/4 here in Somerton, over there by La Mesa. And I came to ask you guys if you guys could give me a sponsorship for racing my bike. I've always had a passion for off-roading and all that stuff. And I'm gonna compete on October 1st, and I wanted to ask for a sponsor for better safety equipment and all that stuff. I mean, it's just me and my dad, so I mean, I don't have the help of my mom, let's say. And I know you guys can answer me right now, but I hope to get a response from you guys, and I came to drop it off.
At this moment, we're actually because of the we don't have you on the agenda, okay? But yes, definitely for next month, okay, we can have you added to the agenda. Please actually leave your information with our city manager. He will get your name and address and everything that needs to be here. And I would like to see you next month. And hopefully we can have an answer for that time.
All right, thank you.
And anyways, I wrote your name and you're requesting a sponsorship. So next time when it's on the agenda, then we're gonna make a decision on it. Okay?
All right, sounds good. Do I turn it off or?
That's it. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Mr. Commissioner Cervantes, call to the public and your public forums.
No, there were no call to the public requests via email or any of our other outreach portals.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let's move on with new business. In this case, donation request from Jesus Roldan from Somerton meets the baseball team national tournament. National tournament. I'm more than eager to hear what you have to say.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Chairman and members of the commission. Jesus Roldan, 327 East 12th Street here in Somerton. Yes, we just went to the national tournament in New York, Cooperstown, New York. Mm-hmm. We won that tournament.
Wow, congratulations.
We have, and we go way back when, 28 years coaching baseball, kids from Somerton. And this is, my oldest son my oldest brother is 32. Mm-hmm. I started coaching him, and now my older son, he's 22, and then 19, and then 16, and then 12, which is the one that I took to Cooperstown. Mm-hmm. We have 14 players in the team. 2 are from Yuma, 3 are from San Luis, and the rest are from Somerton. Mm-hmm. So our team name is Somerton Mets. We played in that national tournament. I know I gave that letter to Jesus Vasquez, and for some reason he said I guess he forgot to put it in, or I don't know exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. But then when I call him again, he goes, "Oh, you know what? I'll put it in for this time." So but it was too close, I guess, for last meeting to.
That is correct.
So we played against teams from different states and different countries. The semifinal, we play against Canada, and we won 2-0. Our pitcher threw a one-hitter. And then from Somerton, he's actually going to middle school. And then
May I know the name?
Jose Valtierra.
Jose Valtierra. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's, I didn't know he played. So about 2 years ago, I saw him, and, my son's friend, he goes, Dad, we need a player. And I think he knows how to play. He plays basketball. He's skinny, really tall. I said, well, I can make him into a pitcher. And sure enough, he can throw. So, and then the championship, we play against Georgia, and we won 2-1.
2-1.
And like I was telling Juan, it was crying from parents, from kids, from coaches. If you guys have Facebook, go to Somerton Mets, and you'll see pictures of kids jumping. And there was a lot of people from Somerton following us on those, because one of the parents were put in alive. So, and because of that, now I guess we're recognized in a good way, Somerton. Not only Somerton, Yuma County, but our name is from Somerton. Every tournament we go is Somerton. We're pretty proud of what we're doing. When we're playing before the quarterfinals against a team from Chicago, they're like, "Oh, Somerton, it's about so many miles from the border, right?" Yeah. So you guys are agriculture, right? And I'm like, "How do you guys know?" "Oh, we Google you guys."
Google you guys.
So that was nice to see that, and how the tournament was is they put you in a dorm. You have to qualify for that tournament. You have to win so many tournaments. And so we qualify for that. They put you in a dorm, the coaches and the kids. And the parents are in their hotels, and then the bus takes you to there, brings you back. Basically like a professional baseball player experience.
So they had the experience.
Oh, yeah. We had meetings. They got counselors. They got everything, the kids. And just to let you know what, when you put those kids together and make them into a team, instead of individuality, just make them into a team. They can do a lot of. I remember going into, I played Mexican ball for many years, and the coach told us that if you hit somebody with your open, hand, you can damage it, make it red. But if you do it with a closed fist, you make more damage. And we try to do that. The kids make them together and work together. I don't have captains in the team. It's me and my 2 kids are my coaches, my oldest kids. So that's even better. So the reason for that, and because we won now, we get invited to different tournaments. Now we got invited for New Mexico for the World Series, which is next July. So it's really nice that kids from Somerton, kids that we do fundraisers, like tournament, whatever we can, we do raffles to fundraise for those kids to go, and it's rewarding, I guess. Juan should tell you that once you win a tournament, it's very rewarding. Especially see the faces of the kids. All we had a year to raise the funds. We have some parents. One parent was telling, "Why didn't make the payment of the house today?" or whatever that man. Just I don't know if it's true or not, but at least all the sacrifices they did. I think I paid at the end.
Yeah,
we hold that trophies like this big. I had to, in other words, screw it with whatever so I can fit it because I was not going to leave it there. So that's the reason for this letter, asking for a sponsor so we can continue working with these kids and, helping out. And like I said, push them, maybe there'll be a continue high school because they're from Somerton, at least 9 of them, they can come here. And if they don't play, at least they become good, citizens and, and be good persons, never know who you're going to touch, when you're coaching, the difference you're going to make in those kids. And that's the reason for that.
Wow. As I'm hearing you, the first question that comes to my mind, do you lose your voice when
I lose my voice?
Like I can hear that.
I was telling Juan, the coaches cry, but I have my glasses on. The kids didn't know that. But yeah, my voice.
Excitement.
Yeah, we had we were losing in the 4th inning, 1-0. We couldn't hit. The pitcher was throwing really good. So we have a play that is called Tony's play. And we did that trick play and it worked and we scored the tie run. And
Wow.
the coach came into me and he goes, "Come on, man, don't trick me like that." I said, "I'm sorry. I'm going to do whatever I can so we can win this game." And sure enough, it paid off. And then we scored in the fifth inning, the other one. And then our pitcher came in and, pop fly and strike out the other two batters. So we have 14 players and we have 14 pitchers. All of them, I made them into pitchers.
Wow.
We believe that, not only one person can win the game. You need all of them. And all of them play, all the games. So it was won by a team, not just by.
What is your goal for fundraising this year?
Well, like I said, we have a tournament for Prescott that we invited. Is Arizona and California and different that go and because we won so many tournaments, we consider majors, so we get invited to different tournaments. So our goal is, whatever we can, get, so we can continue with. I'm sorry, with these kids. We had our uniforms. I used to coach them, little Joe Romero. I used to coach him. I was 18, he was 15, and Joe Munoz Park, Babe Ruth. Well, now he sponsors our uniforms for.
Oh, that's nice.
So I guess it's how you treat others.
Yeah.
They come back. Another story. There's a kid that I help him here, troublemaker. So I said, I'll hold the glove for you in practices and in the games. When game's over, you take it. And he ended up going to a college in California and, became a catcher. And one time he saw me, this is about 10 years ago, he saw me at Reynoso practicing with my son, which also a catcher. And he came and hugged me. I didn't know who he was because, changed. Well, he had a gear that was given from Jadier Molina, the catcher from Cardinals.
Wow.
And he gave that thing to my son. Just like that. He was, I remember what you did for me, so let me do this for you. It's about, like I said, it's about how you treat others, not just coaching and, yelling at them, not hitting or whatever it is. It's about talking to them and telling them and make them a good citizens. And, we pray every game, before the game and after the game. And we don't pray to win. We just pray to not get hurt and to get our blessing and making plays and, teaching kids, like, again, being a good citizen, not just about baseball. So I believe in being well-rounded, not just one thing. So my goal is, whatever we can, help. I think it will be a great help to our kids.
In the years that I've known you, I know you, your passion for baseball and also your passion for helping others. Since we were back in accommodation school, remember teaching, and you were always there, when we made a good team, and you're one of the few, I guess, council members that I can truly relate, because I've seen that you haven't forget that passion to be there, to be helping our kids, and yes, and you enjoy it, and that's I can see that, and I can see, when the practices are taking place, sometimes I will be right in my back, and I would just stop there and see you guys play. And this is very positive for our community. I know you still have to do presentations for other, maybe the council or interviews with the newspapers, but I hope we can help you in a way that a little bit of help is gonna be making your goal getting closer to. And also, if I can get you later on a connection with the person from San Francisco, because remember 2 years ago we received a donation. Juan. And he actually had a conversation with him like 6 months ago, and he's asking me how's baseball and everything. So he's really into it.
Really good.
Oh yes, I believe me that. So I would like to have a little talk later, and in a more informal setting. And Mr. Bustos, let's give him more if it's because he wants to do also something for the Somerton, for the city. He loved the
and I think this year the league got a lot better. We took with the same team, we went to state and we beat Scottsdale, we beat Casa Grande, and these are teams that are it's a lot of money out there. So they got even personal trainers that whatever they can do, and and they were amazed that City of Somerton came in, and
Yeah,
they even
this
asked
is-
our
yeah.
players, "So who's your personal trainer?" And they pointed out my
Yeah.
older son because he's a
Yeah.
catcher, so he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How much you get paid?"
How much they get paid,
Thank you,
zero,
and
yeah.
good job. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll take him out to eat. That's
It's,
it.
it kind of brings to my mind when I was a coach of the Rocket Club and we went to Washington, D.C. and we beat Japan and they were like, from Somerton, where is that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're like the underdogs. And I know how you feel right now. So
know, and-
congrats. I mean, this is.
You have here to you guys is right. Also, he's
Mhm.
coaching for many years, was a president for the league, and
Mhm.
him and Mr. Porchas and ourselves, we represented Somerton in many tournaments, many regionals, and I think we continue that. I know sometimes it's hard because now with all the
Mhm.
the games and whatever to get kids to do, it's hard. So just continue those, and getting the kids, I guess, in doing sports and continue. that.
Okay.
Even I got reached from the new principal for the Somerton High School. They want to talk to our kids.
Wow.
So that's really good. Mr. Arvizo, I believe. He
yes,
said he Lucky Arvizo.
Mhm.
He would like to, probably next week, he'll be talking to our kids and wants to tell them about Somerton High School. And he wants to take the kids to do a walkthrough in the school. And
Mhm.
so that was really nice. I think it's very
Yeah.
positive. So they'll have an impact in the kids and feel pride of their high school. And
The ripple effect, huh?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're causing that.
Yeah. So,
Well, members, questions for Jesus?
We want to support you, so we're excited to do that. Thank you for everything you do for our community.
thank you very much.
Mhm. Anybody else? Oh, go ahead. Miss.
Just congratulate you on your win, but we know it's not something that just happens.
Yeah.
It takes years and years and years of work. So
Yes, it is.
congratulations and thank you for all the effort, all the work.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, Jesus, good job. Congratulations. A lot of training, a lot of years.
A lot of work, a lot of training, a lot of focus, a lot of,
All year.
mind, a lot of everything.
But good job.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Really, really good job.
So
I'm
I think
happy.
that's why we don't have that much hair. Right?
Oh, yes, I know that. White hair, yes. Okay, Mr. Jesus, if you don't, thank you. If you don't mind, I would like to actually make a little request. To meet with the, I would like to meet with the city manager and the rest of you, and to make a decision.
Okay.
How can we help you financially?
Yeah.
So you walk with something here. You would like to wait outside, or you
Yeah,
wanna
that's fine. I'll-
you know, it's like same as. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Rodney, I was checking our numbers and it seems like we're running low. Do you have any more data about what's the state of our finances?
No, I don't.
Mhm.
We had the last one in the last meeting, we gave out $750.
That is correct. Mhm.
And so whatever the number you had, and those hadn't gone through yet. So I think we're around
No.
about $1,200.
That is pretty much. I just wanted, because I have this. Okay, we're actually around $2,000 minus 750. So yes, you're right. Okay, so I think the passion for baseball for Jesus is incredible. He's been into this for many years. I mean, back almost 30 years when I met him, and he's always, reaching for kids. It doesn't matter if they can afford or not. If he sees, something on them, he will try to move with
for
it.
all of the maximum amount that we can donate to him. I think that he puts it to good use,
Mm.
and his dedication is just amazing. I think these are the kind of community members we want to support.
Yes.
He's an ideal, for what we want to support. I vote for actually the maximum amount because it's a team. Yeah.
Mhm. Just let's be aware that I totally agree with you. Don't take me wrong. Okay, after this expense, we're gonna go down to approximately $700, and we may actually start seeing more people requesting. And I'm glad that we have some ideas for probably fundraising activities later on. And that's what we need you on board, Mr. Rodney. That whatever money comes to our commission, it goes back to the community. Whatever they did to us, put in the 4th of July in the hands of somebody else. Now it's hurting our finances. Okay, that's basically, that was my point. So I'm glad that you are now seeing what is going on here. And Jesus, I mean, not because he's a city council, that's totally outside the scope. What he does for the kids, because it's not a newbie to this. For me, I can relate to him because I know we go the extra mile to make sure that they're ready to compete and at the level that they're competing. Okay, and Somerton, I mean, in the past was very strong in baseball, was extremely good at baseball. I mean, when we had this person coming and checking our facilities, Mr. Bustos from California, that's why he decided to make a donation, a big donation. Okay, and because he was impressed with what we do here. And he said, you know what, if there's anything that I can do to help you guys, give me a call. So with that in mind, I will support Joanna's, but I need Mr. Jesus and Ms. Urquiza. And well, for your smile, I guess you will support what she's saying. Anybody else? Anything else to the council? I need someone to make the motion, okay, and someone to second the motion, and then we if there is no more conversation, so we don't take more time that is needed.
I make a motion to vote on supporting with the maximum amount that we can.
You need to put a number to the amount, please.
$500.
That is correct. Okay. Okay, we have a motion to support Jesus Roldan and his winning team for future events for the amount of $500. Is there anyone that would like to second the motion?
I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Okay. Then, if any discussion about the amount? Jesus, you've been very quiet.
No, no discussion on amount. I mean,
Okay.
I'd rather see the funds be depleted so it can really be used as an example, rather than tippy-toeing around trying to protect people's feelings. But yeah, no, I have no comment. I totally agree with the $500 donation.
Perfect. Okay, then I don't have any more discussion. And please help me by making a motion. Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, so that carries 5-0. Please. Thank you. Good job. We have a good news for you. Okay, we wish we could help, believe me that all of us, we wish we could help you with more, but our limitations as they are stated by our policies and procedures is the max is 500. So we have decided to actually support you financially with the maximum amount allowed, which is 500.
Thank you very much.
And then later on, I will try to help you with other connections. So
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
so you can become, as I said, your ripple effects will not end at this time. Let's move you into the next level.
You know what? Yeah. Thank you very much for that. You know, it's you know, one of our friends also, I think Coach Williams, Juan, he says, I didn't know how much time you spend with the kids teaching, you know, but when you see them now growing up and, you know, giving you a hug and giving the 5-5s, and now they are working in so many different places. Some are playing baseball, some are in school, some are, you know, X-ray technician. And, you know, it's nice to see that. You know, I think like he said, it's a ripple effect, you know. Yeah. So thank you very much for that.
Gives me the goosebumps to actually to see. I will little kind of just to my last comments on this issue. Honestly, I was going to quit the commission.
Yeah.
Okay. But because of you, I guess I will stay.
No,
Yes, it actually, all of us, I don't think we have any hidden agenda. We are here to support, and you are the perfect example what we're doing.
No, and sometimes we all need a little pat on the back. I guess just, continues supporting Parks and Rec. I've been in this Parks and Rec before, and I know even though you don't get a lot of, thank you or whatever it is, but Parks and Rec is the face of the city. Because all the things that they do, doing for the kids. The kids are the future of the city and any city. Mm-hmm. And I think what you guys are sponsoring and helping out and doing events and this, whatever needs to be done, it is there. Just look at Joe Munoz Park. I went to see a little bit, got a little bit late because of work, but all the kids that were there.
Oh, yes. Yes.
My God, it's
priceless.
Exactly.
And what we
that's when you're, okay, what? We're doing a good thing, or we're going the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So thank you for that, and
thank you.
Keep going.
And God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Now I go to practice.
There you go. Back to reality. Thank you. Okay. Wow. Look, my. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding donation request from Juan Lopez, organizer of special needs event.
Juan Lopez, good evening, Commission Chair and fellow commissioners. To talk about our event, and I say our event because it's the city and us as Parks and Rec Commission and sponsors are going to be part of this event. I think I gave everyone a flyer.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is just the first draft. They're working right now on the second draft on adding our logo, our Parks and Rec Commission logo, and changing the name, just making some legal adjustments. But besides that, I'm waiting on the final for the flyer so I can send out sponsored, clip a sponsor letter to that and get going. I reached out to a few of the expenses that they were going to have. And that was, food. I reached out to a person and he said he would charge me about $2. Let's say we would feed them hot dogs because I think it'd be the easiest. Hot dogs, it'd be like $2 a hot dog. And it's going to be, I'm not going to charge for the hot dog. So everything's supposed to be 100% sponsored. And I think the past event they had in San Luis, Arizona, my friend told me there was about 150 special needs kids there. And so I don't know if we're going to have that many, but I'm figuring about 200. So let's say about 200 hot dogs, just for example. That's, $2 a hot dog, that's $400 there. And that's just the food part. So the shirts, I plan to make shirts for like volunteers, for us and volunteers. I called them and they would tell me it depends a lot of the shirts depends on how many inks you're going to use. So it varies from like $15 to $20 and the type of shirt. And the shirts is for staff and for volunteers. So I'm figuring, I just figured 40 for now. So that 40 times, $20, that'd be $800. And I'm probably going a little bit over on that, but I mean, it's anywhere from, what do you figure, like $500 to $800 anyways. And so that's shirts. That's another expense. And medals. For medals, I'm going to get medals for every participant. Every participant's going to get medals. And right now I'm figuring 100 medals, just, 75 to 100 medals. So that's $5 a medal. So that's $500 there.
Mhm.
I know before I came and said about expenses, but now I have the numbers, like literally it's there for you
Mhm.
guys, So I
Mhm.
mean, I still have jumpers I want to get, like water jumpers, and maybe a DJ. I was thinking about that because they told me maybe the loud music, wasn't going to help or do it. That's why I'm debating on that. But so the idea is still the new name, the new name for the event is going to be Special Fun Day. So that's the Special Fun Day, and
Special Fun Day. Mhm.
yeah. So like Special Fun Day 2022,
Mhm.
and what else?
Where is it located?
It's going to be at Council Park. Yes,
Mm.
I already have the date reserved, the field reserved with Mr. Rodney, and the times. I got.
Sorry.
That's
What are
okay.
the age groups?
That's a good question because I don't want to go too young, and I'm gonna write it down so I don't have my pen with me, but I'm gonna write it down because that's a really good question. I'm gonna write it down because I need to ask. I'm gonna call the school and I'm gonna call. I'm gonna ask the special needs department, and I'm gonna ask. I could ask that question. What's a real good age to do this kind of event? Because I was gonna ask them for feedback on how. I plan to do a lot of games for them. It's like it is kind of like a track and field, but it's not a track and field. I'm gonna have them like jump over a pole and throw a ball on a bowling ball, throw a sack in the hole, and
There's a name for that.
Yeah.
What's it called?
There actually our district sponsors an activity like that at the end of the school year. Okay, and it's on April, and it's called actually the field day for the special field day.
oh, special
Okay,
field.
field day. There is no cognitions on it. Okay, and all the schools participate, and every participant gets also a medal. And that will be a very nice resource for you to actually speak to, because it's what you're gonna do. What you want to do, you want to kind of do something very similar, but outside the school,
Yes,
school,
correct.
The school ground.
Yes,
So
correct. And it can be a Special Olympics because that passed, but that's a
yeah,
different
it's
event.
exact copyrights.
And yeah, this is strictly for Somerton, and all Yuma County is invited.
Mhm.
And to remind you guys, the purpose of this event is to give information to the parents on programs that they can use or go to.
Mhm.
The person that's doing this with me, he's the owner of the Our Choice Human Services,
Mhm.
and he houses and helps the people with special needs, adults.
Mhm.
So he's in that department, and our idea was to do the booths
Mhm.
and have all the programs. There's a lot of programs in Yuma and a lot of companies. So his company is Our Choice Human Services, but it's not only him. I'm gonna invite the next guy and the next guy and the next guy, because the idea is not to make money out of this. The idea is to give information.
Yes.
And resources for everybody, and in every single way in Yuma County. And that's the idea. So they know a lot of people, and they're going to reach out to everybody. And he has the volunteers, he has the certified people. So that's the real.
So you're gonna have like booths from service providers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, different because there is actually from Sunset to Border Regional to you name it, lots of schools. Yes.
To the schools.
Even the libraries. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a wonderful event. It's what I'm afraid is the proximity of October 15. Why that date? I know we spoke about it like back on April.
Yeah, and because it's got pushed, but that's fine. I'm not worried about it. It's the first year, and I did an event this past weekend, a basketball clinic for kids here in Somerton, and that one we got it together in a week. So I kind of already have that feeling where right now I feel that I still have plenty of time, and so I can still reach out and really whoever I can reach out to, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
So and I know I'm just right now like a push button away. I'm waiting for that flyer to give me the final. I'm ready to just push that button so I can get everybody moving.
Yeah.
But I need that right now. But everybody's ready to jump. You know what I mean?
Perfect. Okay. And then if you feel comfortable, because this is, I know there is since you're like the main cheese into this, if you feel comfortable like with the deadlines that you're putting yourself against, hey, then my blessings, as much as I can support you, we will. Yeah,
I already got a layout. And so I already have an idea. I've been talking to Parks and Rec. So with equipment and like I said, I'm reaching out right now. I'm actually have like a phone call away from somebody who helped in the Olympics, the Special Olympics. So I'm gonna reach out to the main person.
Okay, so from our side, how can we help you?
What is needed? Volunteers.
Volunteers.
And
definitely
financial help.
Financial. Okay, for volunteers, I already told you that I can. Yeah, well, more than happy to help you with at least myself and probably 2 more from my side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will make.
Definitely, I will make at least come from my side 3.
Yeah, and Commissioner Cervantes reached out to me too about sponsoring too.
Okay, so so we can discuss the financial. You already know our numbers. And now the question here is like, I don't know if it's a legal question or not. Are you going as an individual or as an entity, as a
Parks and Rec Commissioner?
How are you gonna be doing this?
So it's not only myself. That's why it's my the person that's with me. He had a meeting today in Tucson from OCHS, and then I'm getting together with the Parks and Rec from the city of Somerton.
Okay, yeah, because for the purpose of support you financially better. So if we go as a Juan Lopez was definitely, you already know that the maximum amount. But if we go as a what is it called, the group or the team or
as a commission?
Well, as a commission, you want the
I'm
full.
assuming.
Yeah, if it's actually between the city commission, then we can support.
This is in partnership with the commission, right? It's not just him.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing is you probably shouldn't vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We understand that. We understand that. It's just that because the question that I asked him was regarding if he goes as an individual or if we're gonna be supporting him behind, then that means a group. And if we go in a group, then he follows into the next category, which is a different amount.
And he did mention that the commission logo was going to be added, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, and we're working this event. I know you're leading it, but we're still going to support it as a commission. We're still going to put work into it, volunteer or whatever is needed. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For all intents and purposes, Mr. Lopez is requesting on behalf of a group essentially, because he is not the sole organizer. So it would fall under the group category.
Okay.
So and yes, to Ms. Ezral's comments there, the commission is supporting and a support function with the city. So but there's still that separation between Mr. Lopez and the commission since he's acting on behalf of the event organizer in this case. Yeah. So technically, yes, it would be under a group, not individual.
Okay. Which just for clarification, so just in case somebody's asking, because
May I say something?
Yes, go for it.
What we need to do also is we just put the city just put some procedures in place to where we have paperwork that we need to go through the different departments here before, and even if it's a city event or whoever outside. So get with me ASAP like tomorrow or something when we can get it filled out and run it through the channels.
Okay.
Because there have to be different approvals now.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, we're under new administration. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Again, as a chairman, I cannot make the motion, but you guys, you are my left and right hand. So any more discussion for this event? I'm excited. And the first time that you mentioned it, I'm glad that it's finally. And the good thing is, it's not going to be like in a year from now. If it's in October, so be it. 2 months from now, go for it. So we can start saying it's everything again for the good of the community. So, okay. Any more questions before we? Okay. Then I open the floor for any of you to make the motion.
I already did the last one, so someone else's turn.
Well, you guys heard my previous comment. I'd rather see our donation amount deplete for good purposes as far as focusing on a community. And in this case, what makes it even more of a great event is that it brings forward a spotlight into a portion of our local community that sometimes gets overlooked or kind of put on the back burner. So that's what I really like. And personally, and of course, on the commission side, put my full backing behind. So I'd like to make a motion to award or maximum limit for a group of $500 for the event presented before us.
I second that motion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have a motion to support the fund. Let me read this correctly. So the special fund day, okay, for the amount of $500. And a second by Ms. Ezra. Okay. With that in mind, then all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. That carries then 4-0.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Mr. Lopez, I'm also available to help, volunteer that day.
Because a volunteer sheet.
Or if you need something else before, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And once again, I think we're honored to have you on board, Mr. Lopez, because I've seen, getting involved with the basketball clinics, and then you did a baseball clinic also. You participated in that. Now into this. So the question is, are you married? Are you like living on your own in the middle of nowhere?
I'm like a single done. I'm interested in the community all the time.
Because you're always doing something.
And I'm always volunteering out. I love it.
There you go. So you
take my son.
My grandma says, if you want something to be done, do it yourself, because, and so once again.
He's like you. He takes his whole family.
Yeah. Always taking my whole family.
I took the position so I could help, and I really like to help. I like to help all the time, and now I'm part of the commission. So
thank you.
Better.
I hope when the council makes a decision to bring us the other two commissioners, I hope at least one of us is there in the interviews, or so we can get a good feedback of what's coming. Because it's that's sort of different discussion. So by the way, so let's move on, because I promised you that I wanted to let you go before, and we're almost there. Let's move on to item 6.3, discussion and possible action regarding future art and cultural festival, Paso Cultural Festival by Ms. Urquiza.
Okay. So, good afternoon, Chairman and fellow commissioners. So, the reason I'm here is that I would like to propose an activity to follow up on the Summerton Arts Festival. I think we should not let the momentum die, since the response to the festival was very positive. So what I propose is a scaled down version of the festival, in which we will have mostly arts and crafts vendors, so focus on that, and artists who want to exhibit their work. So I think we can reduce costs and still support the goal, which is to promote the arts and to give artists an opportunity to promote their work. we could do things like maybe not have alcohol, not sell alcohol, so that way we can save on, police presence. We could have a limited number of food vendors, still have maybe food there sold, but maybe fewer, so we don't have to close the street or we don't have to overcrowd the park with that. And keep everything within the park, so we don't have to close the roads, and that would involve less people working on that. We would let the vendors know that they would bring their own tables or displays, whatever they need. It would be their responsibility to bring that. And maybe still keep the fee of $25 per vendor, and at least, make a little money there just in case we choose to have some entertainment, like maybe a DJ. So I talked to Josue Rodriguez at the Cultural Center. He liked the idea, and he said that he could work with us to, make it happen. Also, I think doing this in the morning or in the day instead of at night could also, save on, having to have lights and all that at night. So I think this helps to keep, the momentum and just promote the people who do that kind of work, and it's interesting for families to visit, come buy things and that. So that's my basic idea. This is just the basic bones of it. But so I'm just proposing this to see what the commission thinks.
First of all, fellow commissioner, thank you for all the work you did already with researching and finding out and really thinking through how to cut down the budget so that we can afford it for one, and with the goal in mind that yes, I mean, this is something that we need to make sure we keep the momentum going, because the amount of participation we had in that event was phenomenal. And even the aftermath of it was phenomenal. We kept on having requests for continuation of. Yes. And so I thank you for the work you've been doing and the thought you put behind it to make us come together and make this a top priority of planning. Good job.
Thank you. So I think this could be something like that happens every so many weeks, every 2 months. If, it's self-sustaining where people, pay enough fees so that it keeps going, it benefits everyone, I believe. Yeah. So that's my basic idea.
And I totally agree with Vice Chair Esro, the fact that we need to keep the momentum going. And yes, there is you surprised me with how much details you mentioned in your proposal, the time, the finances, in reality, kind of a self-sustained event instead of going through this nightmares of sponsors and this and that I went to lots of money, and then making it like every quarter until we get the main arts and crafts festival next year. I think this is a great idea, and we should pursue it. Our former Parks and Recs director, he also was, hey, don't let this die. They keep going. You need to start planning events and things. And I'm glad that you came forward and keeping us focused. And we did something very positive, but we need to continue doing it. So you're proposing to help maybe with the planning, to help you set a date, to see the calendar for the city, when will be the most appropriate dates. So probably we can table this item for next month, next meeting, and hopefully you will have time to meet with Mr. Rodney and you guys can see calendars and if it's available or when it's available and what else we need to do from our side, to make it happen. And it has to happen the sooner the better, because we're already April, then June nothing, then July nothing, then August nothing, and now we're going into almost 5 months, and hopefully by November we can.
Yeah, we're gonna have a better weather
so
that people can be outside in the daytime.
It's in a before we because we still need those details. We need to. I don't know the schedule for the city, what events you already have. So last time when I requested last year for the arts festival, I requested clearly what events the city had, but then somehow somebody forgot to mention, hey, by the way, we have the Chelada Day, which happens to be 1 week after. I don't want to be in that position. So check the calendars, and so we can actually have a very clear date, and we're not like throwing dates back and forth, and we're going to past experiences. Mr. Cervantes, you want to say, I can see, or?
No, I mean, I guess not to be the cynical one, but I see it opposite. I mean, I understand we want to maybe have like quarterly events, but we have to walk that fine line of overly saturating that type of event in the community so that people don't get like, well, there was already an art event last month. So what makes a major event any different? But I mean, overall, I mean, trying to be cost effective, I mean, I'm all about that and being efficient. But at the same time, if we want it to be self-sustaining as well, I don't think we can cut out vendors completely, because then we're putting a squeeze on the artists themselves and being like, well, you pay us now, and we no longer have any revenue coming from the vendors. But I mean, aside from that, like I said, it's I like the idea. Maybe if it was quarterly or less, so we can bring back that focus within the community, but not having one like every month, because then it oversaturates and there's no uniqueness to the event. And the overall event itself, the main arts and cultural festival, I think we've already set that precedence that we need to continue it either at the same level, or I would say make it bigger, because since it was our first year, it kind of proved that that event does have a role in the community. Now, one thing that we could change and really consider is probably the date and the time frame to kind of adjust it a bit more, so that one, it's not hot like this past event was, where we had some of our artists setting up and it was super hot outside. Even our city staff was kind of having a hard time staying on their feet because it was very hot. I was out there, and some of our members were out there too. And so there are many things to consider. And but I'm not opposed to having, like I said, some of these maybe pre-events to kind of set the tone for the major event.
Right. So the way I see it, this would not be the same type of event. It's like definitely a different type of event where we still promote arts, but it's more focused on trying to make it for people who sell, who make things, arts and crafts, for them to have somewhere to, for the public to see what they do, and, they can sell their work. More than what we had the other day, which was like a big night where, family comes together. We have lots of food, like entertainment, but so it would be like a less ambitious thing, but, with a more narrow focus.
Now, one of the ideas that we had discussed, actually, the former Parks and Recs director and myself, was probably the possibility of having something what you are saying, but in the cultural center, okay, in which is an enclosed facility, AC, and also a good way to promote the cultural center. Now there's been painted, and now we have some paints right there, and it's gonna be, so you're looking for artists to display their work, am I right?
Correct.
So under that atmosphere, then we don't go so large, and it doesn't actually lose the track, but at the same time, your objective is give the artists a place for them to display. So that could be the other venue, probably, to see if we can do that, what you're proposing in that enclosed area, inside, and the hours that you're proposing, like in the morning, when it's still fresh and nice. And at the same time, there's a kitchen right there, a good place to, for vendors to, if they need water, whatever they need. Bathrooms are available, so let's planning on that.
So I see that working in conjunction with the format you're proposing. That in the format you're proposing can be a platform for inviting the community in and drawing them into. We're going to be having at the Cultural Center these monthly activities of art, and this is what's going to include. And we can create a schedule.
Correct.
And we can schedule those artists to present their art and engage the families in doing art projects, in doing the art there. We can even have food like our chair was saying as well. But we can do I think when we were talking to them last time we were there, we came up with a really good name.
Oh, yes.
It was something sabor of del arte. I don't know. I can't remember.
El arte del sabor.
Something like that, because we wanted to really engage the families in that, in engaging them in the arts, the culture, the food, everything, and promoting our cultural center with that. And we have the venue to do it. So in conjunction, I think that.
Yes, I absolutely agree that, that in Josue at the cultural center, he, likes the idea and he would like to work with us. So that would be like a different vision than what I had in mind. But of course, we are going to do what works best. My vision was I went to Mexico, to several cities there, and they have weekly, they have these bazaars where you see a lot of people selling all kinds of artwork, arts and crafts. And it's they have parks, and it's so the way it is different is that you have a chance to move around and sit, and you have nature there. So that makes it a little different. They have benches and anyways, but it's something to think about. And for now, we can just leave it and then talk about it next time. I'll find out more information.
Perfect.
All right.
Is that okay if we table the item then for next month and we come back with more info, dates?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Thank you very much.
So what is more feasible, the Centennial Park or the...
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we have one more item to go. Okay, discussion and possible action regarding fundraising opportunities for upcoming events, because the way that we are now, we're going to start bleeding. Okay, Mr. Jesus Cervantes.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, city staff. I'm just going to provide a quick update. I'm still in the process of collecting data. My end result will actually be a comprehensive review of events in the community for proper planning, so that we don't run across situations where there may be overlapping events. The best example, of course, was our arts festival that we had a few months back. We did overlap with City of Yuma and City of San Luis. I guess the plus to the City of Yuma event was that it ended during the day. City of San Luis had theirs roughly around the same time as ours. As I mentioned earlier, we did prove that our event does have a place in the community. Now it's just trying to find its place in the event calendar, so it doesn't really compete, or is it the tail end or beginning of other events? Going back to your point or your comment earlier, Mr. Vasquez or Chairman Vasquez, the city did have the Chelada Festival after our event. Not that it's a bad thing, but once again, you got to find that balance between having events spaced out appropriately, so that it doesn't end up creating kind of a
staff
burnout
overload,
effect
yes,
for the community.
Yes,
because if you have multiple events occurring back to back, it leads to that burnout.
Yes.
And I mean, especially now, a lot of our community members, I mean, a lot of us included, I will say me as well, we don't have that large disposable income that we did have a few months ago. So that's also a big consideration that events are awesome and nice to fundraise and, you know, get the community out, but you also have to take into consideration, are people going to be able to afford to attend? You know, it sounds kind of silly to certain individuals when you bring it up, but you have to really take that into account. But not to get off topic too much, I'm still working on a presentation. I hope to have that by next meeting. That is only phase 1. Phase 2 will actually include and I believe I had discussed it before with the commission, a SOP manual for our events. So that it does lay out the process that we need to follow for any event that we participate in, whether it's an event we host, or we are co-sponsor, or we are a vendor at. So it'll set out the guidelines that one could follow, whether it's us still on the commission or it's 5 years from now where you have new members that they could open up and be like, these are the sign-offs we need to get from city administration. These are the sign-offs from PD, fire. These are the checklists for all the rentals, food and beverage, sponsors. So it'll be a comprehensive guide that the commission can use to plan for events moving forward. And I think that's something that we've lacked and have always discussed, at least while I've been on the commission, which is several years now. But right now we're at that tipping point where we need to focus on that community involvement and interaction to basically help us get funds. Because as we saw, we do have a lot of organizations within the local community, whether it's sports, arts, or even like we did have a few requests in the past where it was individuals trying to attend conventions that were national conventions. I think the last one was the National Statesman, where the individual went to the national convention, and we want to stay true to our mission, which is reinvesting in the community and building it any way we can. And a lot of it will also have to do with those partnerships with city administration and staff. Because at the end of the day, they are a massive resource for a lot of the stuff that we do. It's just identifying those items that they can help us out with and keeping those things in check on both sides. You know, because at the end of the day, going back to that concept, it takes a village. What the commission itself cannot keep doing the heavy lifting, and neither the city. It has to be an equal job between both parties. But with that being said, that's the quick update I had. You should know if my presentation is long because I'll usually have PowerPoints and handouts. But in this case, any questions or comments to any of the items that I kind of discussed?
No, actually, you're right. We need to have a little bit of guidelines and what do we need to do in order to avoid, waiting for someone to do something for us and not get it done and get behind. And I mean, I learned from last year's activity, the arts and crafts event. It was a good eye opener for me as a chairman. So I'm glad that you're taking the leadership and, and now having in writing, what do we need to do? Because we have a beautiful event happening. She has a great idea. And I don't want this just to stay there as an idea. We have to actually make them be part of the commission and be part of the city, which we are serving very proudly. I think for next month or next time also, probably besides that, you can bring us more ideas and more events that maybe we can do or something. I don't know. Because we're gonna go very, very low very soon. That's the thing.
Yes, and in all reality, retooling and rekeying our public presence won't be that hard because if you guys still remember, we do have our own tent and equipment that actually can be used for fundraising and PR and community engagement. So a lot of that is already in place. It's just identifying a plan of action. So yes, by next meeting, part of that is a second update to phase 1. I'll have some opportunities as well that may exist. And also, that's also not to say that if you do have contacts that belong to local businesses or companies, some of them are always looking to donate to a good cause. It doesn't bar you from presenting it. It's like, that's been one question that's come up several times. It's like, how do we as a business, as business XYZ, donate to your cause. And it's like, well, you can always come and do call to the public. Our meetings are on these days. So that is also another route to take. It's not solely just going to fall on fundraising activities, because it could also be a sponsorship type of interaction with the local community.
Perfect.
I mean, thank you for all your efforts and everything you've put together, because it's a lot of work. I do want to bring into attention, because of the topic you're addressing, is how come we have not had the city reach out to us with a calendar of events to recruit us for the fundraising that we've been accustomed to? Why hasn't that been going on? Does anyone have an answer?
We're working on that.
Yes. So I was provided with the list of upcoming events. At this point, the upcoming event, which would be way too close to you and participate in, would be the UTV event. But there are other events that'll be coming down the line that the city does host that we could have those discussions and participate in. The biggest one, of course, would also be reaching out to see the process and how a vendor organization is selected. I know we ran across that situation for 4th of July, and at the time, previous personnel did not have a clear answer for the commission. So it's getting those questions answered, and that goes back to having that SOP and procedural manual, so that we already know that, okay, I'll keep using 4th of July as an example. If we're gonna throw our hat in the ring, that we know that we need to make that request 30, 60, or 90 days in advance.
But I have another comment. I've been on the commission for 5 years, and it's only been the last, 2 years or less that we ran into this huge issue of the city not collaborating with us. We used to collaborate together, where they would come and present the calendar to us, and we would be able to, and they would seek us out for the fundraising, always, because we're part of the city. We are all a team, and we're giving back to the community. It's been only recent times that we're having these issues, and we shouldn't have these issues. We're volunteers, volunteering our time and efforts to give back to the community. So I'm going to again address, and we've addressed this several times, that we need the city to collaborate with us, Parks and Rec Department, council, whoever, I don't know where the breakdown's happening, but we need them to come back and do their part as collaborators, because we're a team and we're working for the city, for the community. So we need that back. I know you're looking for solutions, which is awesome, but again, like you said, we shouldn't be doing all the heavy lifting. We should be collaborating. So those sponsorships, we should not be competing for them. That's something that as a commission, we've always been part of. It's not something that we take as a commission and keep to ourselves. So we need to have that back reestablished.
So Mr. Cervantes, I may have an idea. So probably we may be placed on the agenda for city council, and maybe we can actually address the issues that Vice Chairman is actually putting on discussion right now, because probably, they're not seeing us as a whole, as a part of the City of Somerton entity. Okay, and we're not. We're volunteers. We're trying to serve our community. Okay, but yeah, definitely will be a good conversation to follow with city councils, and maybe you can help us probably later on set up a date in their agenda, and we can, at least 2 or 3 of us, we can express our feelings in that matter. Because since I've been a chairman, I've been getting some kind of like the same vibe, and it needs to stop. I mean, it is, we need to start on the right foot. We all had great ideas. We want to support the city as much as we can. But I also would like to see if we get the support back for all the components.
And yes, I do see the points. We are not a city department by all means. We fall more under as a citizen advisory board. But I do see where those breakdowns have occurred. my only recommendation would be, and this is once again a recommendation, is that a listing of times where the ball was dropped, you could say, I guess, should be created, and then a subsequent meeting to be had with new city leadership, because there has been a change in city leadership, to see where deficiencies may exist. Because going back to my initial conversation and discussion item, is all this is not just for us to find a solution and then it gets forgotten. It's to actually build it up and also have accountability across the board. Now, accountability is a two-way street. We will hold those accountable on city side, of course, and then our side as well. So we should have ourselves held accountable to the same level and standard that we will be holding others accountable to. All events, in my opinion, should be run like a project. It should not be kind of a running around like a chicken with its head cut off, which we run across multiple times. Even tonight, perfect example is for Commissioner Lopez with the flyer. There's been delays with getting updates to it. Those are items that should not be occurring, at least from my opinion, my personal opinion. But it's examples that could be brought up in discussion. So, in my opinion, my recommendation would be to identify those areas that are broken and meet with the new city leadership to see what areas can be addressed on their side and what items can be addressed on our side. And don't take me wrong, I have no vested interest. I'm not a city employee. I do work in local government, but not for the city. But from my perspective, I guess that would be the better approach, trying to weed out any items that may be that pebble in our shoe, so that they can be addressed, hopefully finally not in an open forum.
So in this case, you're proposing us to meet with new leadership, city manager, where we need to meet instead of council.
Yes, because I mean, from once again, this is from my perspective, being a local government. Leadership to the organization will be probably the best one to try to start tackling an issue, because agency heads and department directors basically report to them. Whereas when you go to council, it's kind of like using the nuclear effect or the nuclear option to get stuff done. Not to say that it doesn't have its place, but I think the more diplomatic way would be to start addressing it at the ground level where the issues exist. And then if nothing happens, you start building up and going up the ladder so that you get true momentum, and hopefully the voice is there now, So, but that's just my recommendation and opinion on that matter. To mention, I have no vested interest. It's just that I've sat in many meetings and gone through a lot of quality assurance checks with projects and stuff like that. And it's always been that key point. But nonetheless, any other questions or comments?
No, I think your advice is well taken. Chair, definitely is well taken.
May I make a couple comments?
Yes, go for it.
I don't know what happened in the past personally, but I know right now I've been working with staff, and we are trying to come up with a schedule for you to be more involved in our current events. We don't have that quite finalized right now, but it's real close. And you'll see, once you see that, you're going to see that you guys, almost every event we have, you will have an opportunity to join in and sell something, whether that'll be food, or there's a couple of them that we'll work on, like 4th of July and the Enchilada, to do the beer sales, and you get a percentage, not the whole thing, because it's going to cover costs. But so you're going to see that there's going to be opportunities, but on the other turn, we're going to need to make sure we have enough volunteers to run, because it's going to be from the time we start the event to the finish.
Yeah, I don't think volunteers have been the problem for us as a commissioners. Okay, I mean, in the prior events, I even brought my friends from school. They volunteer teachers, okay, to help us. It's just that we want to get involved,
right?
And to inform us what's going on. And then we can actually prepare ourselves as commissioners to support the events that the city is actually running.
And also another thing that's happening is, as you know, everybody's struggling for sponsors, and they're getting more expensive to put these events. So the city's trying to recoup a little bit of the money from sales of alcohol and what to put back into the event to cover costs. So that's that's what's going on now. And it's just a management move to help offset the cost. So that's why they made some moves, but we're working forward to giving you a complete list and you'll have the opportunity to pick and choose what you want as far as what event you want to work at. And so we'll probably be showing that to you next meeting.
Thank you
Sounds good.
for
Thank
that
you very much. Yes.
inclusiveness, so we can continue with our mission and serving and giving back to the community. As you saw, we had, requests today to donate for sponsoring, all the hard work they do for our community. So it's just a give back, so thank you for being inclusive with us and to give that back to us. Thank you.
That sounds like a plan. Maybe the first step for us to work will be with Mr. Rodney. Okay, probably one or two of us, maybe Vice Chair, myself. And if you want to be there, then we can see the three of us. Last time I was only alone there and there was two of you. So I say, it's not fair. I think it went really good. Okay. To be actually bring the team, because this is what we are. I think we're now, after a year of pulling each other's hair, now we're seeing the benefits of working together, and we are continuing working together. The fact is, notice that each of us have something, a little place and participation into this, and we're pulling this together. So probably we can set up a meeting later on, to start pulling strings together.
I'll try to set up a meeting next week.
Perfect. Let me know, and I will contact them, and we'll take it from there. I just wanted to say, any more questions for Mr.
Okay, thank you for your time. And as I mentioned, the next meeting, I'll have an update regarding phase 1 and should have a drafted document based on input collected, both from external and internal resources. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jesus, for keeping us on track. It is the nature of the beast. Okay. So definitely for future items agenda, we have Ms. Urquizo's item, which is 6.3. We're going to have also the items 6.4, which is possible action regarding to continue this conversation. And we're going to go for a discussion about the special needs event, a little bit of information what in a month, what has happened. Okay, to have you for next meeting.
I'm gonna reach out to you guys before.
Okay. Yeah, for planning. So at least those three items. Mr. Rodney, in a kind of a personal note, I appreciate that the agenda you have actually put it on place. You contact me as requested on a Wednesday, 1 week before, and I think that gave us plenty of time to make changes. And you kept actually the agenda as we requested it in the weeks before. So thank you. And there were no surprises. Sometimes it will be, but please keep us on the loop, a week before, so there is no surprises for us.
Will. And Chair, I might add that I would like to, if it's okay with you, to put an update from Parks and Rec, and I can give an update on what's current.
Definitely. Yeah, we used to have one there. Okay. So with that, then we have 4 items on the agenda for next month. Okay. The third week of September, Wednesday, same time, same place. So moving from my left to right, Mr. Cervantes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything else that you would like to add for the agenda?
No, I have no additional items.
Thank you. Ms. Urquiza.
Yeah, no additional items either.
At this point, I don't have additional items either.
No additional items.
No additional items.
Okay. Then I would like to, is there anything else before we close the meeting? Or item number 8 that you would like to share with the commission at this moment, Director?
No, I'll save my updates for next meeting, and I'll have a few updates for you what's happening, but I have no additional items for the agenda.
Okay, perfect. Then with that in mind, it's 7:21. Is there anyone that would like to go home? So I need a motion to close our meeting
I make a motion to close the meeting.
at 7:21. Okay. Okay,
I
thank you.
second that motion.
So there is a motion to close and second, then all in favor to close at 7:21, say aye. Aye. Aye, thank you.